In this video, I'm going to be giving you my first impressions of Trinny London's makeup and skincare for the mature woman. Welcome to Beauty by Des, and thank you so much for joining me if you're new around here. I'm Des, I'm over 60, and I love to talk about makeup, skincare, clothes, and other bits and bobs that make me happy. I also have a website called Beauty by Des, and I'm on Insta and Facebook too. Now, if that sounds like your kind of content, please consider giving me a thumbs up because it lets me know that I'm on the right track. And better yet, subscribe to the channel because that way YouTube might suggest my video to other older women who might enjoy it. So without further ado, let's crack on. Now, I should tell you a little bit about the brand. Trinny Woodhall used to be on TV with her partner Susanna Constantine, and the two of them used to do a show called What Not to Wear, and I think it started back in the mid-2000s. It's quite a long time ago now, and in fact before that they used to write a column in the Daily Telegraph newspaper in the UK. So she's been around for quite some time, and a few years ago, I think this brand only started about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, not that long. Makeup brand was really a kind of an on-the-go concept, but now it's developed into all sorts of different areas of makeup and skincare as well. Without further ado, let me start with the only skincare that I bought, which is the cleanser, and it's called Be Your Best Cleanser, and it says it's an oil-based, luxurious, transforming balm which removes the day and the night from your most stubborn eye makeup and your SPF to the impurities your skin collects overnight. It's designed to boost radiance and nourish skin, and it is kind to your microbiome for happier, healthy-looking skin morning and evening, and it contains a muslin cloth as well. Now, one of the reasons I'm interested in Trinny London products is she is a mature woman. She's probably in her early 50s, I would say. So she knows very well what skin concerns women of a certain age have, which I think is really helpful when you're formulating products, because if you're a younger person, you might not have the same sensibilities, I suppose, as an older woman might. And certainly, I know she's talked about going through the menopause, so she'll be aware of all those things, and I think that's really interesting when you're formulating skincare and makeup. Now, the problem is that all her skincare products, as far as I can make out, including the one I'm going to show you today, have fragrance in them, so they're no good for me. But the cleanser only stays on my skin for 30 seconds to a minute, so that is no problem because it's going to be washed off. So I'm not worried about putting the cleanser on my skin for a short amount of time, and I must say it does look absolutely fantastic. So the cleanser is called Be Your Best, and this is it here. Now, it's quite pricey. It's £32, which seems a lot because that's more than a high-end sort of take the day off Clinique cleanser, which I think is £26. But I will check that and let you know in relation to the size whether this is larger or smaller, because it's a different delivery system. So it comes in a pump. You push this up and then you just pop a bit out. Now, oh my gosh, it does smell lovely. It's not a strong smell at all. It's a very light smell, but it comes out in a sort of honey consistency, and it looks like a very light honey. So how to use it is massage 2 pumps onto dry face and neck to remove makeup, including waterproof eye makeup, until formula loosens. Wet skin to activate deeper cleansing. Rinse off with muslin cloth. Right, let's get into the makeup, which is the really exciting bit for me. Now, just to let you know, I have got foundation on, I've got concealer on, and I've done my eyebrow. So for my foundation today, I've used the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better foundation, or serum foundation, which I've sort of fallen back in love with. I think maybe because the climate's getting a little bit warmer. It's a beautifully sunny day today in London. Spring is definitely in the air, there's no doubt about it. Daffodils have popped up. I haven't seen any crocuses yet, but a few irises have popped up as well, so I can see that it's definitely on the turn, which is a great relief, isn't it? Because we really need some sunshine in our lives at the moment. And for concealer, I've used the Lancome Ultra Wear, and I've powdered my under eyes and my lids with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. So let's crack on with the 2 eyeshadows I've bought. And in fact, we could do one eye with one colour and one with the other. Let's do that just for fun. So I've got these 2 shades. They're called Strength and Emperor, and they are little pots, and they're called Eye to Eye. And what it says about them is use these shades as eyeshadows and eyeliners. I love a multitasking product. Use the same colour as your shadow to build up intensity on the upper line, or create a more undone look with a smudgy swipe across the lower lashes. The notoriously fiddly feline flick is made a breeze with the help of our tea kit, but I think you have to get a brush for that, which I have brought. So I have brought some brushes in case we want to do that, but let's just swatch the colours first. So this is Emperor, and that's what it looks like in the pot. And then we will see what it looks like on the skin. Okay, so it feels very soft, slightly greasy. Oh, wow, look at that pigment. That is something, isn't it? That is really something. Beautiful. And actually it's almost a kind of plummy brown in a way, isn't it? Or prune, actually, that's what it is. It's sort of prune brown. And then this one is called Strength. I think I also got another brown because I just wasn't sure about the brighter colours. Ah yes, this is a bit more plummy actually. So that's what that one looks like. It's called Strength. And let's put that on the other finger. Oh yes, actually that is plum. So there you go. So you've got prune and plum. Or maybe chocolate, I suppose. The brown could be a chocolate, couldn't it? Wow, they look absolutely fantastic. Actually, I think what we'll do, given that it's suggested that you can do a kind of feline flick with one of them, I think if we put the plummy shade on the eyelid, and then we'll use the darker shade, the more sort of prune-like, to do a kind of an eyeliner-y thing. So let's do that. Let's have a go. Okay, we'll take the plummy shade, and I'm going to dip my finger into it, and I'm going to start applying it on my lid. I mean, that is a great colour. That is absolutely my colour. It's got my name on it, that has. I'm not going to worry too much about the mess because we're going to tidy it up with a cotton bud. And I'm hoping it doesn't dry down. It doesn't feel like it would dry down quickly. It doesn't feel like that at all. I absolutely love that shade. In a way, it's funny, it's a little bit similar to the shadows that I chose in the Beauty Pie video, which if you haven't seen, I'll link that up in the corner for you down below in the description box. I obviously go for the same sort of shades all the time. I tend to go for sort of plummy and sometimes warmer tones on my eyes and then sort of a dusty pink on my lips. That's just me. It feels like it's set now, which is great. And I love that colour. So let's now go with I think this is Emperor, isn't it? The darker one, this one here. So what we'll do is I'm going to take this really good flat brush from e.l.f., which is a great one for lining. And what I'll do is I'll just dip it in gently, like that. And then I'm going to I'll try lining my top lashes and my lower lashes with this colour. Let's just see if I can show you on camera. I always struggle to do this, but let me see if I can do it for you if I go here. Yeah, I'm not sure that's really showing. One on top of the other maybe doesn't quite work, but just for even's sake, I will put it on the other lid. But maybe what we'll do is we'll just use it to sort of define the lower lash part. It's not showing up massively. I don't know whether it will be on camera or not, but I can't see it showing up a huge amount at the moment, but I don't mind that really, but we'll see. So what do we think? I think it's nice. I mean, I don't know whether it's exceptional to line with, I would say, because it certainly didn't show on my lid. But I love the colour. That plummy one is really nice, and I'm sure the prune one, if I used it as an eye shadow, would be gorgeous as well. So I do really like the consistency. I mean, let's see if it stays. It certainly seems to have dried down now, which is really good. It's not at all sort of moist to the touch or anything. So yeah, I'm liking that, and I can see why this sort of back of a taxi idea of on-the-go makeup, I can see how these pots would really work for that, because it has dried down. It was easy to apply. I mean, actually, this one didn't need a lot of touching up with a cotton bud. This one did, but that's because the first time I've ever used it. I'm sure if I were in the back of a taxi and I needed to put some eyeshadow on, this would be very useful, because you don't really need any brushes. You can just sort of smudge things around. And actually, I have to say, I do think these colours are suiting my green eyes very well. And actually, thinking about it, this sort of concept of these sort of light, easy to use pots and easy to use makeup that's sort of almost a no makeup is very much it's very current at the moment, isn't it? Because I understand Jones Road, which is the new Bobbi Brown range, is a little bit like this as well, in that it's sort of light, easy to use, on the go makeup. And I think Milk Makeup was a similar kind of idea, so I can understand where the brands that are developing this sort of thing are coming from. Right, I'm going to put some mascara on, and then we'll go on to bronzer, blusher and lip tint. Well, I've just used a mini Caution mascara by Hourglass, which I got in the sale, and thank you Heber for letting me know about the sale I bought the other day. Heber's channel is great. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below for you. And she just happened to put on the community tab earlier this week that there was a sale on Hourglass, and I think it was 20% off. So I went on the site and got a couple of things, including this mascara, and I must say, I'm quite amazed at how lifted my lashes look. It's quite incredible, really. I don't think I've seen them look this long, ever. Right, let's try the bronzer now. It's called Golden Glow, and I've got it in the shade Gaia. There we go. Now, I always struggle to find bronzers that are not orange, so I'm hoping this one won't be. It's slightly warm. In fact, it looks a bit like the old Chanel Soleil de Teint. Do you remember that? But let's see. It's a nice colour. It's a kind of a mid-tan, I would say. It feels nice. And I'm going to try and apply it on my cheekbones, which is what everybody says you should do. So let's have a feel. See, that's normally where I would put my blusher, but anyway, not to worry. Yeah, it's a bit on the warm side for me, but it looked like the best shade. Well, I mean, it's nice. I don't know if it's exceptionally fab. It's maybe a little bit on the warm side for me, but maybe we'll cool it down with a blusher. But it certainly felt nice on the skin. It's £25, so it's quite pricey, but you don't need a lot. I only used literally one smear, I think, or maybe two. And actually, I've just looked and it says with daily use, it should last you 6 months. Well, that's amazing if that's true. For that tiny little pot to last you 6 months, I think that'd be really, really good value in that case. Because with a stick bronzer, you tend to sort of push it on more, don't you, unless you use your fingers, so you're more likely to use it up more quickly. Having said that, I've still got my Milk Makeup bronzer that I've had for probably a year or 18 months, but that's because I haven't used it very much. Right, so the Flush Blush, as it's called, I've got it in the shade Katrin, and again it comes in the little pot. Now, I think that colour looks right up my alley. That is a sort of dusky pink, I would say. It says creamy formula, soft matte finish, £20. Smells a bit vanilla-y again. But let's hope it doesn't have anything untoward in it. I use my little finger to pop it in. Oh yes, I love that colour. Oh yes, that is definitely my colour. And I'm going to come down a bit. I am going to come down to here because, you know, I know we want to look lifted, but we also want to look like our cheeks, and this is my cheek here. It's not up here, is it? So we're going to come down a little bit. I think I am going to use a brush to blend this out a bit. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Looks like I've wiped some off, so I'm just going to pop a little bit more back on, because this is where I want it, really. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? I really like that. I think it's a beautiful colour. So the final product I'm going to try is the lip tint, or the lip LUXE as it's called, in Eugenie, and that also comes in a little pot. And actually, do you know what? It looks very much like the cheek colour, doesn't it? Let's put them together. They are quite similar. I suppose this one's a bit pinkier. This is the cheek version and this is the lip version. Right, let me swatch it before I put it on my lips. Ooh, yes, that's definitely a different consistency. I hope you can see. That's definitely a different consistency to the cheek version. And I'll use that to put it on my lips. Right, let's get a bit more. I think that's a bit too subtle for me. See, it's funny, isn't it? It looks a lot darker in the pot than it's looking on my lips. Feels quite sticky, but I wonder whether it'll dry down again, because that seems to be my experience with the other products. It's got a slight sheen to it, hasn't it? I'm probably putting far more than I need to, but I'm kind of hoping for a bit more wow. So, Trinny London First Impressions for Mature Skin. What do I think? Well, I'm really looking forward to trying the cleansing balm, and as I say, if I manage to do that this evening, when I take my makeup off, I will pop in a little insert at the end of the video so you can see how it turned out. But I certainly like the consistency of it. It isn't cheap, but I think with the delivery system, with the little pump, you probably won't need all that much, but I will report back. So, on to the other products. So onto the eyeshadows. Well, I really enjoyed using them. I think the delivery system again was lovely. The pots felt very nice. They have dried down. There's absolutely no stickiness there. Now, how they wear throughout the day will be interesting, but I have, as I say, done what I always do, which is to put a concealer on my lids and then powder them down with the Charlotte Tilbury powder. So I'm not expecting them to crease. I mean, unless it's right at the end of the day, but we'll see how we go. And it's a lovely warm day today, so we'll see. So really enjoyed using them. The pigment from the dark one didn't really go over the other shadow, if you know what I mean. So I couldn't really use it as an eyeliner on top. I think they are really nice cream shadows for mature skin. The pigment was strong enough and they seem to be staying on at the moment. They've certainly dried down very well. I'm happy with the eyeshadows and I'll definitely continue to wear them, particularly as we come into spring, summer, because they've got this sort of lighter consistency, which I really like. And I imagine once I get the knack of applying them with my cat-handed fingers, I will be able to do it without resorting to a cotton bud. So on to the cheeks and the bronzer. To be honest, I mean, how long ago is it since I put them on? About 2 or 3 minutes ago. Or say 5 minutes at a pinch, and I'm not sure whether you can see them, whether they've disappeared into my skin or not. And I have a feeling that I might have to apply quite a bit more than I'm used to in order to get a staying power out of them. But certainly it's looking quite natural from what I can see, and maybe on camera it's showing up more. I don't know, we'll have to see in the edit. But do let me know in the comments below what you think. I certainly think it's a nice natural look, and if you're going for a nice natural and very quick look, both the bronzer and the blusher would be great. And in terms of the lip colour, it may be that I chose too light a colour, although as I say, in the pot it certainly didn't look light. I'm quite liking it. I can still feel it on my lips, so it hasn't dried down, and I'm quite a matte lipstick girl usually, and this one's maybe a little bit glossy for me, but not too glossy, so it's kind of in between. So I quite like it, and if I were doing a natural makeup look, then this would be probably something that I would reach for. And I suppose that is my verdict about all these products. I think they are for a natural makeup look. They feel comfortable on the skin. I think they're good for all the more mature skin in that they don't make you look overdone. However, how long they will last throughout the day is another matter. Right, here we are at the very late check-in. It's about 10:30 at night and the eyeshadow was put on about 12 hours ago. So it's not too bad. It's come off a bit, but it's not terrible. So there you have it. Those are my first impressions on Trinny London's makeup and skincare for mature women. If you found this video helpful, informative, or even amusing, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving me a thumbs up and hitting the notification bell. And let me know in the comments below, have you used Trinny London? Would you use it after watching this video? What did you think of it? Did it work on your mature skin? And thanks again so much for watching. It really means the world to me. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye.